Hey guys, what's up? This is Hugh Behringer, and today I'm going to have a somewhat different video for you guys. This is going to be a charming location guide. And when I say location guide, that means where I'm going to show you the best spots in RuneScape for mid to high level players to collect imps. I'm going to show you the best gold, green, crimson, and blue per hour spots. So it's going to be kind of a long video, but if you guys want the information, it's going to be there. Um, Now, what I'm going to show you first is an equipment setup, and I have an equipment setup for melee, range, and magic. So you can use whatever one you're the highest level in or the monster's weak to. Uh, Either one works for me. The best thing to do is to use this weakness so you can get the most charms per hour. Now obviously there are going to be certain activities that allow you to get more than the normal amount of charms per hour, but I'm not going to put that in this video. This is going to be a straight up regular drop rate of charms per each monster. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the equipment shown. Um, Obviously, if you're on a Slayer task, use your full Slayer helm and just slay them. And once you're off task, switch helmets or just go and do a different Slayer monster. Slayer monsters generally have a good drop rate of crimsons and greens. They don't normally have a good drop rate of blues. However, the higher level Slayer monsters have good drop rates of blues. I'm using a Sarah Whisper. This is just for my melee setup. I'm using Bandos Chest, Bandos Tassets, Steadfast Boots, a Berserker Ring, and this is for all my setups. I'm going to be using a Berserker Ring, Bandos Gloves, Vine Whip, Enhanced Excalibur. I'm using a Fire Cape, and I'm using Vampirism. Now guys, if you don't have Soul Split yet, Vampirism is going to be your friend. Use it. It is so good. It makes the trips longer, and you don't have to worry about banking or getting food. It is amazing. It is the best aura. Alright, now that I've talked about the melee setup, let's go ahead and take a look at a range setup. Now I'm just going to switch into a range setup real quick. Now this right here is a range setup for this particular guide. You can use a different bow. I'm just using the Carol's crossbow. I'm using an Amulet of Ranging, Armadyl chestplate, Armadyl chain skirt. I'm using Glaven boots. Once again, I'm using the Berserker ring. I'm using Armadyl gloves. I've got Ava's accumulator, Slayer helm. Obviously, if you're not on task, use the full set for the set advantage and Vampirism again. Now I'm going to show you the mage setup, and this is by far the best setup for collecting charms because a lot of creatures are weak to mage, and the best charms in the game are going to be achieved using mage or melee. Let's go ahead and switch to the mage setup. Alright, now here's the mage setup, and I need to unequip that. The Ganodermic set is going to be your best set. Obviously, if you're going to use next gear, you're going to use that bossing and not just collecting charms. I'm using Ragefire boots once again. I'm using Ganodermic gloves. I've got Wand of Treachery. This is the same stats exactly as an Aram's wand, just half the cost. So go ahead and use this. Now, if you're a low level, I would suggest using a shield here for the Rejuvenate ability. However, I'm not, so I'm going to be using a book, and the Mage's Book is the one that is suggested because it's cheaper than Aram's and Virtus Book. Now, any cape will do here. You can anything that has a mage crit. You can use a skill cape. You can use a Soul Wars cape. Anything that gives you mage crit is what you need to use here. And since you have a wand and a book, you can dual cast. And dual casting is selecting one and then selecting another, and it will give you the option it'll give you the option of offhand or main hand. So you can go ahead and choose one of those, and I'm just going to put that as offhand. So now I have Water Surge as my main hand, and I have Air Surge as my offhand. Alright guys, now that I've shown you the equipment setup, I'm going to go ahead and go to the bank and show you an inventory setup. Now I have 3 different teleports up here, just depends on where I want to go, what I need to do. I have a prayer renewal flask, I have a superset. You can opt to use extremes if you have them. I'm just showing you a lower level setup. I've got super restores, I have placeholders for all my charms, I have sharks, and then here's the biggest part of this guide. I have a cannon, and most people say, why in the world are you bringing a cannon? It doesn't do that much damage. Well, Jagex went back and reworked the cannon so it actually does a pretty good amount of damage and it gives you a good amount of XP. But the reason why I'm using the cannon is to bring in Dagonoths toward me. I don't want to have to go and hunt these things down. I want them all to gather around me, minimal movement, maximum charms per hour. And I'm using a Bone Crusher. Never want to waste time or experience on prayer. It's always a good idea here. You're camping, you'll get 5 or 6k just prayer experience. And then of course I have the Charming Imp. Alright guys, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to get to the Dagonoths. And here we go. I'm going to go to Waterbirth Island. If you haven't gone here before, all you have to do is talk to the guy once and he'll give you a short little speech, but then you just go in and go here. Now there's no quest related to this, I do not believe. If there is, correct me. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just running up the side to get to the cave where I need to go. Alright, now I'm going to enter the cave. Ah, stupid crab. Okay. Go in, I don't mind dying. Now, this area isn't that dangerous if you're somewhat high level. If you're somewhat low level, then it can be dangerous. But right here, I'm going to set up my cannon. Now, this can be dangerous if you're low level, so go ahead and set up your cannon and get underneath it. The Dagonoths will come around you, and all you have to do is just wait, use your abilities, fire your cannon, and just do this constantly. Now I'm going to pot up while I'm underneath my cannon. Now that I'm potted, I'm going to use Piety and Protect from range, and I'm in the cannon area, and my cannon will bring them towards me, and all I do is I sit here and use the Hurricane abilities, and I use the Quake abilities, and it will get me a ton of experience and charms. Now as you notice, I already have green charms and gold charms. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like, and rating. See you guys later.